Hey, Grand Horizons. Oh, I'm very happy. I'm very happy today. I'm in a beautiful space. Hope you can hear me over the river. Yeah, I'm in one of my most favourite places. And the path, like I'm going to show you. I'm going to like do a mergy thing. So the path that I can see, from where I'm sitting quite high up, and there's a cool little cabin thing behind me. It's really cool. But the path that I can see is actually the path that welcomed me onto my barefoot journey. I used to bring the kids here all the time when they were little to go to like a home ed camp thing, and there was such freedom here. And this was the first river that they went wild swimming in. And yeah, this path that we would walk from the campsite to the nearest village, Hartington, and I just started doing it with no shoes on. I mean, we were camping, so we were in a field, so there was no need to wear shoes. This isn't the point of the video, by the way. But I'm just sitting here remembering like my first few times, and I would take my boots with me just in case. And then I just started going like, well, do you know what? I don't need the boots. They didn't even know I was here. If they were to turn around, I look like a little goblin sitting on the rocks. That's cute. Yeah, my little barefoot journey, and I just started going, do you know what? I don't need the shoes. And we would spend like 10 days at a time at this camp place with like lots of other families at home educated their children. And it was just 10 days of freedom, no shoes. They could come down to the river whenever they wanted. They would walk to the little village, no shoes, no restrictions, just freedom. And so I'm feeling really blessed to be here today and just remember all these beautiful experiences that we had together. And this was like the first proper space that I started to see Gaia in all of her glory, in all of her forms. Like this beautiful walk, all the trees are just covered in this beautiful moss, or maybe it's not moss, I'm not sure. Like I know that there's and it just feels so otherworldly, like so peaceful and untouched. And yeah, it was definitely the first space that I started to really see the world around me properly, and the life that was around me. But anyway, the purpose of my video today, I would like to talk about something that's been coming up for me quite a lot recently, like discussions with the kids and with other people and with myself too, is a concept that I came to as to passing our pain parcel. So pass the pain parcel. There's a concept. Stick with me. So I realised a few years ago that one of the biggest problems that we have in relating to each other as humans in modern society especially, is, and why, you know, there's like trauma cycles and behavior models, and why it's really important to be aware of this fucking pain parcel that we quite often get given. And it is like past the pain parcel, like, you know, you've got the music on, like the drone of society, the drone of life, and like, you know, bills and family and work and school and expectations and shopping and all the stuffs and Babylon and yeah, social media. And so that's like the music going off in the background. And then all of a sudden, when we are in a space where that's no longer playing, it's no longer loud enough for us to hear, it's not necessarily that somebody stopped it, you know, I mean, it could be like, oh, there's no distractions all of a sudden, and now I'm sitting with my pain parcel, it's been turned off. When we get given a pain parcel, when we get past a pain parcel, so that might come in the form of somebody shouting at us or snapping at us or hurting us, you know, doing something really fucking horrible to us, or something like, it doesn't even have to be another person, it could just be a life event, something's happened, like, you know, you've lost your bank card and it's meant that you've got to do all this stuff, and you've got to ring round places, and you've got to order a new card, and you've got to cancel it on all the things, and it could be anything. There are infinite ways that we can, infinite things that could be in this pain parcel. And what happens is it's like the opposite of past the parcel, where you want to open this parcel and you want to see what's inside. When we get past the pain parcel, it's uncomfortable and we don't want this pain parcel. And so somebody is giving us a pain parcel and we're like, oh, well, this is painful. I don't like this pain parcel. I don't want it. You have it. And so you quite quickly tried to pass this pain parcel on to somebody else. And that again will come in the form of snapping or saying something really mean or doing something really mean, or, you know, there are infinite ways. I don't want to go into all the different ways that we might pass this pain parcel, because it will be different for everybody. It will be different for each individual, and it will be different, like, you know, depending on what was in the parcel and who's next to you, and, you know, who you want to give that pain parcel to, and how big the parcel is. It will be very different. But the concept is still the same. And what happens is that when we don't open the parcel that was meant for us, so somebody has passed it to us and now it's our pain parcel, we are accountable for that parcel. Now it's in our hands. That's our pain. We have experienced that, like, every time that pain parcel gets passed to somebody else, it comes in a different form. It changes when it goes to different people. So some people might get really, you know, upset by this pain parcel, and some people might not think that that's that painful at all. They might be like, oh, that's nothing. But for some people, that parcel might be like really traumatic. And so it's not the parcel that determines the pain, it's the receiver of the parcel. But that is still our parcel of pain to deal with. We are accountable now for that pain parcel. We are responsible for it. Not the person that gave it to us. The person that gave it to us is not accountable for that parcel. We are accountable for that parcel. We are accountable for how we receive that parcel. We are accountable for how we open that parcel and what's the right word? How we deal with it, I suppose. How we dismantle that parcel. How we open that package. What we see. Different people will open that package and see totally different things, but it's you that's got that parcel right now, and you have been given accountability for it. Now you can do one of two things with that parcel. You can take accountability for it, and you can open it, and you can sit with it, and you can sift through the parcel, and you can figure out why it's so painful for you to open that parcel. Or you can give it to somebody else, and it's not their parcel, it's yours. It's your parcel. And quite often we pass that parcel, and it's not a judgment, it's not a criticism, it is literally how we have been taught in society. We don't want to be uncomfortable. Our lives have been made so comfortable that we now find being slightly uncomfortable or slightly in pain or slightly irked unbearable, and we don't want to sit with it. So, well, that's not mine, you have it, but it's not theirs. And what happens when we pass that pain parcel is somebody else has then got to deal with it, and then we're just all playing past the pain parcel. And nobody's actually opening these fucking parcels and dealing with these parcels. And actually, if we just opened them and dealt with them and, you know, put them in the right space and, you know, maybe upcycled them if it's not something that we want, and changed the perspective of how we look at that pain parcel and give it a function, it wouldn't be quite so painful. And so I recognised the other day when I did that, I had actually been talking to my kids about this concept of passing the pain parcel. And not because, you know, I wanted them to be aware of when they were doing it. I wanted them to be aware of when somebody was doing it to them. So this really horrible thing that happened to you, basically that person was not dealing with their pain parcel, and they tried to give it to you because it was uncomfortable and painful for them and they didn't want it. And so they passed it to you, and they gave you the responsibility and the accountability of dealing with that. And that's really shit. But what you can do is you can pass that pain parcel on to someone else, or you can break that cycle and you can deal with that pain, and you can transmute that pain, and you can reframe that pain, and you can sit with it and deal with it, and let the emotions that have been triggered by that pain parcel flow through you. And it's a lot easier to deal with it when you realise that parcel was not meant for you. That was meant for somebody else. And so it helps to kind of like, you know, I was explaining to my children that it helps for you to not take it quite so personally, like, oh, I must be a really shit person, I must be really bad, I must be, you know, I must deserve that parcel for somebody to have given it to me. And actually, when you recognise that it's not your pain parcel, it helps you to not take that projection on and receive it as who you are, something that was meant for you. You deserved that pain. No, I didn't, but I'll deal with it anyway. And it does help. I found that concept such a beautiful concept to deal with. Hey, you okay? Hi. I found that such a beautiful concept to help me sift through all these times that people snapped at me or treated me in a way that I knew deep down I didn't deserve to be treated. But I did that thing. I took their projection on. I was like, oh, I must have deserved to have been treated that way. I must have deserved that pain parcel. If someone's given it to me and it's here in my hands, and I must have deserved it. I must be accountable for it. It must be my fault. I must have like put that order out for that pain parcel. I must have ordered that parcel because it's come to me. And actually, there were quite a lot of times that I passed that pain parcel on for many different reasons. We do it for many different reasons. It might be that we're tired, we're busy, we're stressed, we're in pain, we're overwhelmed, we're not supported, we're not loved in the way that we deserve to be loved. We, we don't feel that we are living the life that we want to. We don't feel that we have space to be our authentic selves. So therefore, how can you deal with a pain parcel with your authentic self if you're not allowed to be your authentic self? There are so many reasons why people pass these pain parcels on, and it's genuinely not a judgment or a criticism or a look at me, I'm fucking so much better, I don't pass my pain parcels on. I actually did it the other day, not long after explaining this concept to the kids. I was feeling a little bit emotional, and one of my children was not feeling very well. They'd hurt themselves, and they had been dealing with physical pain all day. And it was just right before Christmas, and I can see why in that moment, at that age, you would, when you're in a moment, when you're young, it feels like that moment is going to be forever. And so in hindsight, I could see that maybe they were feeling like, this is going to be my whole Christmas, my favourite time of year, and I'm going to be in pain for the whole thing, and I'm not going to be able to move, and I'm going to feel miserable and annoyed and snappy. And so basically he reached his capacity for accepting pain parcels. His inbox was full. And so he passed me some of his pain parcels, and he snapped at me quite badly when I was trying to help. And I was already not struggling to deal with my own pain parcels, but I was dealing with my pain parcels, and I didn't have capacity to deal with somebody else's pain parcel, basically. And so, yeah, he snapped at me quite badly when I was already dealing with my own pain parcels. And rather than in that moment, I suppose I had already spent quite a long time, I'd put quite a lot of energy into already witnessing him dealing with pain parcels. And I maybe felt, there was quite a lot of underlying reasons. Maybe I felt like that I should have had capacity to help him deal with his pain parcels, but they're not my pain parcels to deal with. So I maybe took on responsibility for somebody else's pain parcels whilst dealing with my own pain parcels. And instead of dealing with, like, realising that the pain parcel he was trying to give me was not mine, I did take that pain parcel on. And I then, knowing that it wasn't mine, deep down I knew that wasn't my pain parcel. So I tried to give it to my daughter, and I snapped at her. And, well, not just her, like all of the kids really that were there at the time, but it was directed at her, but it wasn't directed at her, it was kind of just into the ether, but it came through the conversation with her. And straight away, and I'm talking like it was a couple of hours after talking about the pain parcel concept, and I literally, like, I snapped quite badly, and she said something, and I can't quite remember what it was, but it snapped me out of it, like, straight away. I recognised, and I actually sat there and I put my head down, and I was just like, I'm trying to give you my pain parcel, aren't I? And she was just like, she started crying, and she was just like, yeah, like, I'm sorry, I'll have that pain parcel back, and I shall sift through why that pain parcel was painful, why it was uncomfortable, why I didn't like it, why I didn't want it, why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. And I think it took 5-10 minutes, maybe tops, for me to sift through what events were happening, why those events were triggering me to not open this fucking parcel and just deal with it. And go, oh, this isn't mine, that's yours, so I'll just put that over there, okay? And it didn't take long, really, for me to deal with it, for me to open the parcel, figure out why it was painful. And, you know, we did it together. I did it in front of them, and I spoke through my thoughts and my feelings and the events in the past that had happened, and where those thoughts had come from and where that conditioning had come from. And there was no blame on anybody else. It was just like, these events have happened, and that has caused me to perceive reality in this way. And so that sometimes triggers me not feeling good enough, or maybe taking accountability for other people and their actions when I shouldn't be. And it was actually really nice. And we worked through some other things, because I pointed out like that my son had given me his pain parcel, and that the reason why I was trying to help was because I can see that you're like a bit overwhelmed with these pain parcels, and some of those pain parcels aren't your pain parcels. Him being in physical pain had basically, the reason why his physical pain parcel was so difficult to deal with was because it had triggered conditioning that had been given to him by other people in his life at points, because they had pain parcels that they didn't want to deal with. So instead of dealing with their pain parcel, they'd given it to my son, and they'd said certain things to him, and they'd made him feel in it, like, you know, they'd passed their pain parcel, and so he had taken those pain parcels on, and that had programmed his brain to feel that not being able to cope with physical pain was somehow not okay, and that maybe expressing his emotions in a physical way, like through crying or saying I'm in pain and I don't like it, was actually they didn't notice me either. But to be able to say I'm in pain, I have this pain parcel and I don't like it and I don't know what to do with it, and it's making me uncomfortable, and I don't know how to deal with this pain parcel. I don't know where to put it. I don't know what to do with it. I don't even want to unwrap this fucking thing, like, let alone fucking see what's in it and put it somewhere appropriate. And it was a really beautiful moment, seeing these emotions and these actions that were triggered by emotions in this beautiful way, is like a little parcel that someone's given me, but it's not mine. Do I pass it on and cause somebody else pain, or do I take accountability for this parcel and do something with it? They didn't see me either. Don't know if you've ever watched 5 Children and It. I think 4 Children and It. 5 Children and It. But I bet sitting up here, that's what I look like. That little It thing. But it really did help, I think, myself as well, to remind myself about that pain parcel like concept. And I quite beautifully demonstrated, not long after explaining that concept, what that pain parcel does to people. Like when we don't, like, because I really upset my daughter, and she didn't need to be fucking given my pain parcel. She really didn't at that moment in time. But to be fair, I didn't really need to be given a pain parcel by my other child. And we quite regularly do this to each other. We always do it, like whether you're in traffic and you're driving and somebody's, yes, somebody, it doesn't, I'm not saying that it doesn't mean that somebody hasn't done something wrong, but how are you going to respond with that parcel? What are you going to do with it? You've got that fucking parcel now. It's evoked an emotion in you. It's evoked a response. Are you going to give it to somebody else? Are you going to shout at somebody else? Somebody shouted at you. Are you going to deal with it? And recognise that that person is they're just passing a pain parcel on, and you can go, well, that's not my pain parcel, mate. You can deal with that one. Is it worth shouting back at and going, oh, you fucking cunt, you've done this and you've done that and blah, blah, blah. Or do you just go, oh, you're obviously in pain. You can have that pain parcel, that's yours. I'm not going to go pass it on to that person because it's not theirs either. And it actually really helps to deal with other people's responses when people are angry and spiteful and nasty, and or you know they do an action that's just not okay. You know, they say words that are not okay. They call you names that are not okay. They engage in behaviours towards you that are not okay. And you have to sit with that parcel. They're trying to pass their pain parcel onto you. And that's not okay. It's not okay. I'm not saying it's okay and I'll just accept all the pain parcels. No. It makes it easier to go, that's not my parcel, dude. That's addressed to you. So you can have that one. I don't receive that parcel. I'm not receiving it. It's not mine. And I'm not saying that, you know, we should just allow people to get away with behaviours and actions and words that are not okay. But it definitely helps to not pass them on. It definitely helps to go, well, that person's done this thing to me and it's made me feel like this. So I'm going to sit with that and I'm going to sort through that and I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to see why it's caused me so much pain and what, you know, projections have been put onto me. And actually, because quite often people can act in ways that are really fucking horrible to us, and we can somehow feel like we've deserved that because it's been given to us. Like, well, what did I do wrong in order to receive that fucking parcel? Nothing. It just went to the wrong address, that's all. Just went to the wrong address. It's not your pain parcel. You can give it back. You don't have to open it. You can just see, like, that's not mine. And I find that a really beautiful concept. And yeah, we will, even when you are aware of the pain parcel concept, you will still, occasionally, like I did the other day, attempt to give those pain parcels to other people. And it's not about, you know, judging ourselves and going, oh, I'm such a horrible person because I gave my pain parcel to someone else. It's just going, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have given that parcel to that person. I should have opened that parcel. I should have taken accountability for that. Oops. I'll try better next time. I will try a little bit harder next time to not. And just the awareness of it is so helpful. So helpful. And having these discussions with ourselves, taking the time to stop when we're feeling shitty and to not like blame somebody else for our shitty feelings. It's not, they're your feelings, they're my feelings. This is how I'm feeling. So I need to deal with these feelings, not pass them on to somebody else or blame somebody else. How can I be accountable for not feeling this way? Okay. It might mean moving away from that person that keeps trying to give you a pain parcel and going, right, I'm not gonna I'm gonna change my address. I'm gonna move somewhere else. I'm not gonna keep opening the door to that person because they keep giving me pain parcels. You know, some lovely analogies here I'm coming up with, eh? You know, or I'm just gonna like go, no, I don't have room in my house for your pain parcels, so I can't receive that parcel. But it also means opening the parcels. Don't let them start getting stocked up on a shelf somewhere where they're just sitting there and then they're overwhelming because there's loads of parcels that you need to open. And you're like, oh, I don't want to open those parcels. I'll just put them in the cupboard and then shut the door. No, you still have to open the pain parcels sometimes. And so that was the point of my video today. I wanted to talk about the concept of pain parcels. Maybe we could go back over the video and see how many times I've used the word pain parcel. I became hyper aware halfway through that I was using that word quite a lot. But I found that analogy to be really helpful with dealing with my feelings and my trauma and things that might trigger negative emotions in me that might then cause pain to somebody else it's not theirs to have. It has helped me to stop receiving other people's fucking parcels. It helped me to stop taking those parcels on as mine and going, oh, like, this must be mine because it's come to my house, my vessel, it's arrived here, so it must be mine. It's quite nice to be able to sift through them now and go, that's not mine, that's not mine, that's yours. Oh, this one is mine, okay, yeah, I need to sit with that one. And so I thought that might help some other people to deal with their parcels, especially it felt like quite a fitting time to talk about parcels at a time when people are giving and receiving parcels. And I thought, well, what a beautiful setting to do the video in. It's been very nice sitting here chatting with you. Yeah. Thought you'd like to absorb the energy of this beautiful space. It really is so peaceful here, so peaceful. And that's that today, so there you go. Me and my pain parcels. I hope this has been helpful with anybody that might be struggling to deal with their parcels and sifting through what parcels are yours and what parcels are other people's. And how that might impact how you deal with your parcels when you can sort through them and see where they've come from and who they belong to. You know, you don't have to open them all, they're not all yours. So I hope that has helped. It helped me anyway. Sending you many blessings on this beautiful day. It's nearly Christmas. And I know lots of people have diverse feelings about Christmas. Opinions and thoughts and feelings and triggers as well. You know, some people want to be left alone at Christmas, and some people experience extreme loneliness and kingfisher. Oh, beautiful. I got a bit distracted there. I realised kingfisher, and then I was like zoning out, and I forgot I was filming. But that's okay. I think I was saying something about, you know, everybody having different diverse thoughts and feelings and triggers over Christmas, and I thought this was a perfect time to talk about paying parcels at the time that, you know, people are receiving parcels. And sometimes it's okay to have a paying parcel. It's okay. You don't have to be so scared of it. Pain teaches us many things. It teaches us a lot of lessons. We learn a lot about ourselves with pain, you know. Hey. And that's not to say that pain, you know, is necessary, you know, or expected. But it is a part of life, you know. It's not really something we need to fear. It will actually teach us a lot about conditioning. Pain. I found that opening these pain parcels over the years and actually dealing with the fucking pain parcel has actually quite often allowed me to see when, like, I definitely didn't order this. This is not mine. Like, this was somebody else's. Where did it come from? You know, and sift through the packaging and find like a sender's address. Oh, that's this person, and they said this thing, and that made me feel like that was for me, and then I based a lot of my narrative on that parcel that wasn't even mine. And so thank you for sitting with me and absorbing the energy of this beautiful space. And hearing about my parcels. My pain parcels. And I hope it makes your parcels, your pain parcels, a little less scary to open, a bit easier to sift through. And so I'm going to wrap it up, because I'm never very good at wrapping things up. And I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a blessed Christmas. And you do all the things that you want to do. You know. Yeah, thank you for sharing this beautiful space with me. So grateful to be here. I love you.